The Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe plans to make banking services accessible to 90% of the population by 2020. It's an ambitious target for a market whose confidence has been rattled by a series of bank closures. Trying to attract more people to use banks is made harder by the contracting economy.
Right now, 70% of our population is in rural area, right? And 76% of our adult population earns less than $200 a month. So where are they going to get money to put in the banking system? So you have to address the issues around disposable income, around creating sustainable, decent jobs. For example, reviving agriculture properly. And then you can get the feed into the banking system.
Company closures have pushed many onto the streets, spawning a growing informal sector. With just 14% of SMEs banked, this could be a ripe market. The Reserve Bank hopes to mop up billions of dollars believed to be changing hands on a daily basis right here on the streets and outside of the formal banking channels. The success of its measures, though, is contingent on how this market responds. The initial reaction here is that the cost of banking is too high.
A while back, if you deposited $100, you could get $110 within 3 months. But now, if you put in $100 in the bank, after 2 months it's down to $80 or $90. So it's better for me to keep my money at home than for it to lose its value.
Finance houses say the economy is to blame for the unfavorable charges.
Once our economy begins to gain traction and expands, banks, financial institutions will definitely find new revenue streams to fund their cost structures. The issue currently of high bank charges, etc., is emanating really, as far as I'm concerned, from the way banks are also funding themselves, microfinances are funding themselves. So in the long term, which is the view of the current national inclusion strategy, by 2020, we hope that things would have fallen in place to ensure that the issues of charges is addressed.
The central bank has already called on banks to scrap charges on what it terms no-frills services, such as deposits and withdrawals. It's also called on more innovation, particularly in integrating emerging mobile payment platforms.
I think the traditional banks are struggling to move away from brick and mortar kind of scenario. It is now about mobile banking. It's only 69%, while our mobile penetration is 101%.
The financial inclusion strategy plans to ensure that 80% of SMEs have a bank account in the name of their business within 4 years. It's also aiming to increase financial literacy and consumer protection. Farai, Mwakutuya, CCTV, Harare, Zimbabwe.